Lagos is Nigeria's industrial and commercial capital. It is also acknowledged as the most urbanized cosmopolitan in the West Africa sub-region. This position is derived from the state's privileged position as being the host of about 2,000 industrial concerns, 10,000 commercial ventures, 22 industrial estates, while accounting for over 60% of the nation's industrial and commercial activity. According to the 2011 statistics, Lagos is the leading contributor to the non-oil sector gross domestic product of the country. It also accounts for 70% of the national maritime cargo freight, over 80% of international air traffic and aviation travel, 58.3% of domestic aviation traffic, and over 50% of Nigeria's energy consumption. Regionally, the Lagos gross domestic product is 3 times more than that of any West African country, making it the economic hub of the ECOWAS sub-region. Successive administrations in the state have leveraged on these opportunities by initiating strategic policies and programs aimed at sustaining the state's eminent economic position in the country. One of such is the development of the LEKKI Free Trade Zone.
Essentially, the LEKKI Free Zone was initiated as far back as 2006, and the idea behind it is to create jobs for our people, to ensure that we diversify this economy, encourage manufacturing, encourage non-oil exports, and by so doing also attract foreign direct investments and local investments into this economy. That way we can also enhance the skill of our people and also some technology transfer. So essentially is to diversify the economy, encourage manufacturing and create jobs for our people. Located
on the tip of Lekki Peninsula to the southeast of the state, LEKKI Free Trade Zone covers a total area of 16,500 hectares of land. As the state's flagship industrial development initiative, the zone is planned to provide an enabling environment for industries to thrive, attract both local and foreign direct investments, and create jobs for effective development. The zone was divided into 4 quadrants, and currently 3,000 hectares in the southwest quadrant is being developed through joint venture partnership with a Chinese consortium.
We have a partnership with the Chinese consortium in just 1 quadrant of the zone, which is the southwest quadrant of the zone. So the Chinese consortium and Lagos State are responsible for developing that southwest quadrant of 3,000 hectares of land. So when you talk about the Chinese consortium, they are restricted to the southwest quadrant of the zone of only 3,000 hectares of land out of the 16,500 hectares of land.
I believe this project is beneficial to both sides, mainly to Nigeria, also beneficial to China. This is a project of the mutual benefits. You know, for Nigerian side, through the development of LEKKI Free Zone, you can have more investors here, more factories here, and LEKKI Free Zone will become a satellite city of Lagos. It will create a lot of jobs, the chances for the people, and also you can increase your your financial income for like state and also for the federal government. During the development Also, for Nigerian staff, we can also learn some technique from the manufacturers, from investors. No, actually, it is the process. We came, from 30 years ago for Chinese. The same. Maybe 30 years ago for Chinese people, also we were so poor, and people didn't have so much knowledge about a new technique. But after the opening of the door of China for 30 years, Chinese people became, more intelligence in technology, and then we have mastered a lot and learned a lot from our investors.
And why we went for the Chinese in the development of the zone is that if you will recollect that the transformation that has happened in China over the last 30-35 years, one of their initiatives was the development of free zones and special enterprise zones in China. They have over 2,000 special development zones, so these are similar to free trade zones. So that's why we went to China, because they've done it before, and we all see that we have made in China products all over the place.
This partnership has ensured the construction of 72 kilometers of paved roads, 5.5 kilometers of stabilized earth roads, and 1.92 kilometers of drainages. Other facilities already provided include 87 units of staff quarters, 3 units of VIP toilet, 22 units of guest houses, 3 portable water schemes, 150 solar-powered streetlights, 3 hectares of green area, 3 standard factories, and a telecommunications base, amongst other infrastructural facilities.
The business has been great, and the reason why we even move here is because this place is an industrial area, and everywhere in the world, industrial places are, of course, away from town, where you enjoy peace, working environment. You are away from the noise of the town and everything, and it has been a really great place.
We'll be here for almost a year. This is our first year here, and since we'll be here, we have a working relationship with the management here. They'll be of good help, and the facilities here, you can see the whole place here. It's a spacious place for us. But the security is okay, it's perfect. Because once, if you are coming into the zone, you have to be checked. We don't allow anybody. If they see a strange vehicle, you must go into the boat and check what you are bringing and what you are taking out. Yeah. And they do patrol occasionally around the place. Sometimes they will just walk in to see how we are faring here.
In addition, a 12 megawatts independent power plant project was conceived for the zone. This project, which also includes a transmission and distribution grid, is already completed. 2,000 trade and exhibition centers have been constructed, while a permanent structure is proposed to be built within the commercial services and logistics park of the startup area.
From this year, LEKKI Free Zone will become the first area which can provide 24 hours power to the investors. It's very, very important. It's very, very attractive to the investors. So I believe the situation for this year will become better and better. There will be more investors from China and also from all the corners of the world.
We've also built a main office. In that office, we have all the regulators who would assist investors to set up within the zone. So you have the Nigerian Exports Zone Authority there, you have immigration, you have customs. So anybody who wants to set up, it's a one-stop shop that they can set up there. And then a key thing that we have done this year is a 12 megawatt plant, because as you all know, one of the major constraints for manufacturers in Nigeria today is the lack of power. So we have put in a 12 megawatt plant fired by CNG. With that, we expect that a number of other investors who have shown interest, we have over 30 of them that have shown interest, will now be able to move into the zone because power will now be available 24/7.
As a premier trade zone, LEKKI Free Zone parades extraordinary incentives that are compelling for discerning investors. These include 100% foreign ownership of investments, 100% repatriation of capital, profits and dividends, 100% tax holiday, custom duties and levies, and 100% tax-free import of raw materials and components for goods destined for re-export. It also provides 100% waiver on all import and export licenses, 100% permission to sell manufactured, imported and assembled goods to Nigerian domestic markets, 100% restriction fee to hire foreign employees and waiver on all expatriate quotas for companies operating in the zone. In addition, there is also 100% hassle-free business environment and 100% government alignment with LEKKI vision and mission.
Those incentives are largely tax incentives to attract, like I said earlier on, both foreign and local investors into Nigeria. So those incentives are now applicable to any investor who wants to come and invest in the zone. So if you bring your raw materials into the zone to produce within the zone, then you are not liable to pay any tax. But because the Nigerian market is a huge market, and that's one of the major attractions for investors coming into Nigeria, we have also encouraged manufacturers not just to produce for export, they can re-export into the local economy. But if they do that, right, then they have to still pay a little bit of tax on the value added if for goods that are going into the domestic economy. But for goods that are entirely for export, then outside of Nigeria, then there's no tax at all. So those are the incentives, and largely, like I said, is to attract foreign direct investments and local investors into Nigeria. Because you see, we're competing with other people for the resources out there. You know, so we must give some certain incentives to encourage them to bring their investments into Nigeria. The market is huge, so, and that's one major incentive. So the Nigerian market, with a population of over 170 million people and growing, is a major attraction, and Lagos State is a key to that because we have a population of 21 million people and is growing, and then we're also the economic and financial nerve center of this country. So it only makes sense that we should also have an industrial hub with modern day facilities, and that's what we're trying to build in the Lekki Free Zone.
To demonstrate its commitment to successful completion of this project, the Lagos State government is directly driving the development of the zone. This has not only ensured consistency in approach and credibility of the project, it has also brought some measures of confidence to interested investors.
I think the governor, Mr. Fashola, has been very, very exceptional in his support, because I could remember when we wanted to come here first, I knew we had some initial challenges, and he came here and he told us that he would debug all those problems, and he did, and here we are, So when you have such a level of governmental support, and it's not just verbal, he said it and it happened, what more can you ask? So I think Lagos State has been very, very pro-business. For this project, the truth is that we already have another infrastructure, somewhere in northern Nigeria where we could have done this, because that's actually really closer to our market. But if you really consider every other thing, looking at a government that is very supportive, looking at a development company that is, I've been to China actually severally. The Lekki Free Zone mimics, the industrial zones you find in China, and Nigeria is probably 10 years behind China, when it comes to industrialization. And what better than also to learn from people who have done it right.
For instance, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola personally led state officials and other stakeholders to the zone, where the representatives of Dangote Group of Companies, the promoters of 400,000 barrels per day refinery complex and fertilizer plants were introduced to the host communities.
Fúnra mi, èmi mo wá fà lé yín lọ́wọ́. Mo fà lé ẹ̀yin ọba lọ́wọ́. Mo fà lé ẹ̀yin ìjòyè lọ́wọ́. Mo fà lé ẹ̀yin ọmọdé lọ́wọ́, mo dẹ̀ fà lé ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà lọ́wọ́. Ó dọwọ́ yín o. Má gbé wa, ó di ọwọ́ yín. Ọlọ́run ti wá fún yín ní àgbàlagbà láàrin ìlú. Ó ti fún yín ní obìnrin, ó ti fún yín ní ọmọdé. Tẹ́ ẹ bá wo gbogbo àwọn ẹbí tó nílẹ̀, irú